What's going on, guys? Just getting ready, about to head to the gym, hit up some deadlifts. In the video today, I'm going over kind of this article I just wrote on cutting weight, dieting down to the next weight class. I'll link the article below. It's on my website, tmnutrition.net. Make sure you guys check it out, and it'll also be posted on a new website that I'm an athlete on, KabukiStrength.com. It's Chris Duffin's new website that he has coming out, and I'll be doing my training logs, articles, and I'll be one of the nutrition contributors as well. So make sure you guys check out that website. It should be live right now, and we'll start to do updates and everything on it here pretty soon. So a lot of really cool, exciting things going on out here in Portland and at the Kabuki Strength Lab. So kind of going over in the video, I'll go over the basics of the nutrition and how everything is kind of getting set up, and then you can read the article, and if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. But before I head out to the gym, I just want to kind of touch upon like the next process, the next steps in order to improve. And a lot of people, they'll get into their meet prep, and halfway through it, they're like already wanting to get into the off season because they have a lot of stuff to work on. And then after the meet, depending on whether it's good or bad, typically if it's good, everything's a little bit easier because they're not as stressed. But say you have a bad meet, a lot of people try to get right back into the gym, hitting heavy weights, and not really thinking about what they were thinking about earlier halfway through the meet on like what they need to improve, what they need to work on. And the key to a successful meet and a successful meet prep is a great off season. And a great off season comes from a few things. One is building up your weaknesses, and the best way to build up any weakness is to do more volume and to hit it from different angles and different exercises, right? So if you're getting stuck in a squat, say coming out of the hole, yeah, pause squats will be great if you pause above parallel. But then what else? Like what muscles aren't firing? What's going on that contributes to you not making that lift? And then you figure that out. Say it's your glutes aren't firing, right? So then you do more glute activation drills, you do more glute exercises, you really work on isolating those muscles to get them to grow and get bigger and stronger over time. So you really want to take the time to kind of pinpoint where your weaknesses are, and really work on those by doing a lot more hypertrophy work, a lot more volume. That's the thing where I'm not a huge fan of everyone always doing the competition movements, right? Off season, further away from competition, is a great time to do variations of it, to do isolation movements, to train more like a bodybuilder and still getting good work. You can't just go into the gym, bench, deadlift, and squat every day and think these things are going to fix themselves. They may do that if you're a beginner for the first couple years, but after that, you never really built the foundation. So then you got to go all the way back and start from scratch again. So you might as well learn to build a solid foundation now through higher volume bodybuilding style training in the off season. And that way, the bigger the foundation, the more ceiling you have to grow as you're building up. And then also the second thing about the off season is to really focus on fixing the injuries or fixing the problems that you've had, right? So say there's an imbalance in your hips. If you don't fix this problem during the off season, it's going to continue to shine to fruition come meet day and come meet prep. So if you have some type of misalignment, if you have some type of muscle not firing, if you have some type of injury, don't be a dumbass and just keep training and keep hurting yourself. And over time, you're going to get weaker, you're going to tear something, and you're going to be done, right? Take the time to do the corrective movements. You can find a lot of stuff on kabuki.ms where Chris goes over a lot of movement patterns and a lot of corrective movement stuff. And you can also look at Dr. Quinn Haddock, I think is his name, from Juggernaut. He does a lot of really good stuff too with corrective movements, breathing, bracing, movement patterns, fixing misalignments, fixing, think in terms of off-season bodybuilding, right? Trying to get symmetrical. Everything should try to match as much as possible. So if something's misaligned, if something's out of place, if something's not firing, you're gonna have all kinds of imbalance issues down the road. Fix that stuff before you start moving into the heavier compound movements. And it's really simple. Just do it the days off from training. Do it prehab work. Do it after the gym. You have all this time to spend on going to the gym and training for 3 to 4 hours, but you don't have 10 to 15 minutes in a day to do corrective movements, to do all these drills that are going to take you a lot further and leave you less injured over time. So really take the time and consideration and really think out your off-season program. Don't just go to the gym to have fun and not have a plan, right? Being good is fun. Being the best one on the platform on meet day is fun.
Say the Lord knows no stranger, working on a never seen runaway. Be my heaven and I'll be your danger. Hey mama, I'm gone, can't catch a never seen runaway. Tell papa his son turned out to be a never seen runaway. Heartbreak Alley, ripping out the stitches.
What's going on, guys? Just some squats and some close grip bench and accessory work from last week. Just kind of piggybacking off the intro here. I have an article up on kind of the successful way to drop a weight class and cut weight and be successful, the mentality that it takes, and that's kind of the main thing that I want to kind of get out of the article, besides obviously the know-how and how-to of doing it the proper way, is the type of mentality that you need to have going into dropping a weight class is key to being successful at it. A lot of people think that they just want to do the next meet and drop a weight class and everything will be fine. And what I've found is that mentality of just training for the next meet leaves a lot of people with a ton of issues, whether it be a loss of strength, whether it be too extreme of a diet that causes a splurge afterwards, and then you end up going up an extra weight class, and then you got to do it all over again. So the approach that I want to kind of push, and the approach that I tell my athletes, is to think of strength training and to think of dieting and dropping weight classes or going up weight classes in a long-term perspective, right? Nothing's accomplished in 12 weeks that's worthwhile. It takes years in order to accomplish something great, and it takes a pretty good amount of time in order to accomplish dropping to a weight class and getting your strength back. And that's not to say people cut weight and they're fine. That's cutting weight is different than actually dieting and dropping to a weight class. Cutting weight is a 24 to 48 hour process where you can drop anywhere from 5 to 12% of your body weight in with the use of sauna, diuretics, and other kind of things. So it's completely different. The long-term perspective here is to make sure that you're not just doing it for the next meet. The next meet may suffer, and that you're okay with that. You want to make sure that you're doing it to prepare yourself to be a better lifter within this weight class next year, not the next meet. And that should be everything in training. Everything in training shouldn't be geared towards the next meet, because what happens with that is you go to certain extremes that aren't sustainable, and that can cause pretty bad issues, whether it be eating disorders, whether it be yo-yo dieting, whether it be heavy drug usage. All these issues are not really going to help you in the long run. It may help you at the next meet, but after that, what else is there? You got to plan for the future, and you got to plan to be great, for a very long time. You don't want to be the person that has a big meet and then they never hear from you again. So just make sure that you read the article. It's linked below, and it kind of goes into the ins and outs and a little bit more perspective of how I do things, and just take those things into consideration whenever you're planning out your training, whenever you're planning out your diet, or anything else that you do. I appreciate you guys always. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, take care.